What's going on, guys? Christian here from CK Wraps. Don't forget to check out our website, ckwrapstoronto.com, to sign up to our mailing list for exclusive offers and discounts on new and upcoming products. Now, I have a little treat here for you today. I have a motorcycle gas tank. I'm going to try to wrap this in one piece. This motorcycle gas tank I'm actually doing for charity. Why not? I can knock out a video, get a motorcycle gas tank done for charity. It's been dropped off from a high school just on its own, so I don't have anything to mount this to. So for those of you who are like, well, why don't you just mount it to the bike? I don't have the bike. It's like an hour from here. So this is what it's gonna be. It's gonna be on the table and it's gonna be a bit of a struggle. This is not for the faint of heart. So you might wanna brace yourself for a project like this. If you have more hands, it's going to be easier. And I don't even know if I can wrap this in one piece. I'm sure as hell gonna try though. Now, this has a couple of things working against me here, and I'm gonna go over this motorcycle gas tank so that way you can see or know what to expect when you're wrapping this and the difficult areas of this particular one. I have no idea what model it is. Apparently it's very rare, and they're auctioning off the bike once it's all prepped or all put back together and all done. So I guess instead of painting it, they say, hey, heck, why not wrap it? Anyways, I'm happy to be part of it either way. So this thing has a couple of things going against me. Right now, I have nothing to mount it to, so it's gonna slide around all over the place. It's primered, and it's not quite as smooth as I'd like it to be. It could probably be a little bit smoother. It could have had a wet sand of maybe like 800 or 1,000. I'm not sure how high they went. I can't remember. He told me. And also the complex shape and design of this gas tank. Now, when we look at this gas tank, what we're looking at is the hardest part. The hardest part for me is this front end right here. This front end has many different things going on with it. What it has going on with it has a bend tapering in from both sides. It has a bend coming from top to side, and it has a bend going from top to front. And not to mention it's all on different angles. What happens here in this area if we go flat and stretch down is we end up with a ton of slack here. We can potentially do a relief cut somewhere around here and do a seam. Yes, that is possible. But the fact that I'm doing brushed metal, I do want to try and keep everything as consistent as possible. I'm going to see how it goes. I'm just going to feel it out. I have never done this gas tank before in my life, and it's just going to come down to experience and thinking about how I'm going to do this. Now, is there only one way to do this? No. Like I said, what I can do is I can put a relief cut here and potentially start from that side and go to this side, or I can start from the hardest part, heat it up at the front, and bring it across and try to do that in one shot. That's my goal. If I can't do this in one piece, I'm going to actually do it. I'll do another video on how to do this in, it would be 3 pieces. So I would do one on the top, one on each side basically, and try to follow the body line the best that I could. The fact that it's brushed metal is gonna hide the seam very well if I need to. Now these hinges are like, they're welded on, they're not going anywhere. Apparently I'm just gonna leave it like wrapped over, and they're gonna put the badge back over, should cover the actual indentations that are there. One of the more difficult parts here as well is gonna be like where the gas cap goes, right in here, this recess. I'm kind of slightly concerned about it sticking. I'll post heat, make sure it's good. Now when we look at the back side of the gas tank, or where the seat goes, this is much simpler. A very nice gradual taper, and on the sides and on the actual top part as well. This makes it very easy. We don't end up with a lot of bunched up slack or material in this area. We do end up with a bit, but not quite as much. It's only when it starts to like really bend in and we get those curves going in many different directions is when we start to get a lot of extra material. So pulling the film tight is very important. Now, if you have an extra, you'd want 6 hands total to do this if you were to actually maybe accomplish this at a more beginner level, or have it mounted to something that's definitely going to help, but you still might want an extra set of hands in that case too. I'm gonna try and be an octopus today and have like 8 different hands and do this the best way that I can without screwing it up, and get it done in that one piece that I'm striving for. If I can get it done in one piece without destroying the weave of the grain on the brushed metal, then I'm good. Like I know that I can wrap it around the edges if I need to or anything like that. I know that it's gonna be fine. It's not going to lift up, it's not going to be an issue. Like I said, the only area that might be a concern is the actual gas cap area. Otherwise, we're going to be totally fine. Now, I'm going to start wrapping this. I'm going to move the camera for you so that way you can get a better angle of this. I'm probably going to move it more to the side just so you can see. All right, so let's get this thing wiped down and make sure that we have it nice and clean. It's already clean. I cleaned it, but I'll clean it again. Obviously, I want to make sure it's very clean. So I'm just going to spray this down and I can use the heat gun to dry it off if I happen to get a little bit too much on it. But we want to make sure we get into all these nice, lovely areas that could be holding any dirt, especially around the gas cap area. So that doesn't come off. I've done the edges really nicely already, so I don't even need to lift it. We'll just make sure the main part of the tank, the surface, is very contaminant free, grease free, and you know, that we're ready to rock when it comes down to getting this piece of vinyl on it. Now the piece of vinyl that I've cut is actually quite large. It's, what I cut it at, 32 inches by 37 or so. Again, I want extra. I want to make sure that I can hold it sort of against the wall. So I'm going to actually probably going to position it right here and see if I can lean against it like this and get that motion going across. Maybe I'll even move the camera a little bit more for you. All right, awesome. So I'm going to take my film, and I wanted to run the grain obviously lengthwise, made a lot more sense. And we're going to get it kind of situated in the front, make sure we've got enough coverage, and then we're going to start peeling it off. Now I've got tons on the side obviously because I've gone way over, but as I stretch the film across, what's going to happen is it's going to actually thin out slightly. How much? It won't be that much, but it will be enough. What I'm going to do also is, so I'm going to find the front. Let's do that while we're not against the wall so we can actually see. Okay, so there we go, we're right around there. What I'm also going to do is cut off some of the sides so I don't have so much flopping around down here. Just for the heck of it, it's going to be a little bit easier for me. All right, awesome. Now, as we can see in the front end here, we would run into tons of extra material. What I might do is I might end up actually start peeling it from the back. No, I'm going to start peeling it from the front. I was going to peel it from the back, but I'm going to have to lean against the tank, and I don't want to do that just yet. You can see how having extra hands is going to help tremendously. So I don't want to remove all the backing yet. We're going to just get it situated again. One thing we have to be careful of or mindful of with brushed films is that they can tear along the grain. So I'm going to see if I can anchor that to the table and then just get the rest of this release liner taken off and pulled back about halfway or so. We'll see. I'm too close to the wall. There we go. All these edges I'm going to be cutting off, so don't even worry about it. I've cleaned the table down. Obviously, you're going to want to make sure you've cleaned your table down and have everything you need ready. So let's get it back into position. Let it come forward. Let's come a little more forward, somewhere around there, I think. A little lower. Just right there. That looks good to me. All right, we're good end to end. So what I'm going to do is just kind of flop it around a little bit, find some flat areas, and give myself a better perspective of what I'm looking at. So as you can see, lots of slack. The other way to do this, maybe the easier way to do this, would be to do the relief cut here, swing the sides in on both sides. You could do that on this tank, just because of the style of the tank. I'm going to go with the harder way though. I just like to go with the harder way. Challenge, that's always a challenge. So what I need to do is I need to get this film anchored in. Stuck in here somehow. Awesome. And this is where it gets fun. So what I'm going to do is lift the film up, and I want to stretch the film back. A lot of this stretch is going to come straight from the center so that I can swing all that around. So I have to heat not so much here, but more along here on the top section. That way I can actually get the film to stretch through here and the sides should follow through. It's going to be difficult. Told you already. Let's just see if I can get this unstuck. It's not that big of a deal, but it'll just give me a little extra. Best that it's awesome that it keeps moving. So if you've watched my other video, you're gonna know how long it took for that other gas tank. I'm hoping that this one's a bit easier. We'll find out. Okay, so I'm going to lift the film, and I want to heat quite a bit. I can't see anything, so I'm just kind of hoping for the best. I can see a little bit. Put that down. I'm just going to try and stretch. Yeah, see, it doesn't want to stay. It doesn't want to stay in the front end. That's what makes it really difficult. Thought it was going to help to hold it, but it just wants to lift, right? So we're going to get this. You're going to see. It looks like a disaster right now, but you're going to see how this turns out. We do have to be somewhat careful with the gas tank. Obviously we have gas in it, so keep that in mind. So I was optimistic about doing this the way I was going to do it. I might have to revise my strategy right now because I feel like it's just moving around a little too much and it's not going to work out in my favor. All right. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you. Should be easier to see. Maybe I should turn a light on for you. Maybe that helps. I hope. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is, since we have this center section here, I can take this and I can swing it around like I said. I'm going to try to keep the grain as even as possible. So what that means is, like, I want to make sure it's really good all the way through this section, somewhat around here. And then the middle won't matter if I put a little seam straight down the middle right here. It's not that big of a deal. Good thing vinyl is self-healing. All these wrinkles will go away. I'm trimming off a ton of it too, so don't worry. All right. So let's heat. It's gonna need heat. You're not gonna be shy with heat on this one. So I'm going to try and anchor it down and then do a nice consistent stretch all the way around. Excellent. I think I'm okay with that. Okay, so we can feed it all into this area, which is really nice. The fact that I have that spot makes a big difference. So the fact that I do have that spot is going to actually make my life a heck of a lot easier. So I've already actually nailed this part. Our next stretch after this, we're just going to be a little bit more careful, is when we come back the other way. So I can actually work on this one side at a time, sort of. I do have to have the other side following through, and we're going to make sure that we get all these wrinkles out in the top section before we tackle this. Now again, most of the materials and tools that I'm using today will be in the description below. So if you're looking, to grab something, it should be there, even the film. All right, I'm okay with this side right now. I'm gonna go tackle the other side. Flatten it out a bit. I wanna make sure that I've got nothing in my center area right here. It's all nice. Anchor it right through there, right here. And again, we're gonna take our heat in this area stretch it out, 3D stretch, and we're gonna bring it around and feed it to this center point again right here. When I say 3D stretch, what I mean is we're stretching in 3 different directions. Obviously 3D, 3 directions, 3-dimensional. Let me just say my 3D is 3 directions. Now I'm doing this so I can show you on camera, otherwise I'd probably position myself a little bit better. Boom. That's hugging. That's so ideal, guys. That's exactly what you want. Let's try and get these wrinkles out. Push down on them. Pressure helps to get the wrinkles out. And once I kind of get it locked in here, I should be okay. I can alleviate tension around here when I want to wrap it afterwards. But I just want to get it locked in for now. This way we're not getting any snapback. So as you can see, I don't have any actually tension on my edges right now. None. So let's get these wrinkles out. Now, when I'm stretching with my fingers like this, I am leaving like finger impressions, so I have to actually shrink that back down. I'll do that. I'm going to do that when I do the side. Because I'm going to have to heat in and around this area in order to draw the film back. I have to do it right-handed, so I'm going to actually do it from this side, because I'm right-handed. But you'll see this side because it'll work out on this side. So let's see what we're doing here. So you can see as I pull the film tight, and let's get the camera angled down even more for you. So as I pull the film tight, you can see that it starts to hug in right here. Super important. If you don't have that going on for you, it's not going to work out. It looks friggin' beautiful. So I'm pretty proud of this. I'm going to be proud of this when I'm done. Okay, so you know what? Let's just work on this side because we're already over here. I don't want to bore you guys. Okay. So I'm going to take it again and stretch the film across. So I keep hitting my mic, so I'm just going to make sure that it's working. Okay. I'm going to lock that in. I don't know if I got enough. It's not bad. It's a little bit less than I'd like, because here you can see that I've got a lot of slack. All these wrinkles right here, again, we're just going to lift it. We can just shrink this film back down. Boom. It's turning out so nice. So my only question is what I'm going to do down here in the bottom. I think that I'm going to have to pull it back a bit and then go for this area again. What I have to do is I have to take a little bit more heat from the bottom here and stretch it more across and swing it around. So I can see that I don't have a lot of vinyl shrinking. And it's really challenging. I'm gonna place my whole body on it. Okay, let's try and get that locked in around the other edge there. Good. I'm hoping that I got a bit more this time. Looks like I might have. So if I got a bit more, maybe this is gonna shrink down a bit. Okay, it did. That's decent. Again, I'm still stretching quite a bit. I don't want to stretch too much around this hinge also. It may not hold very well, but we're good. All right, so what are we looking at right now? I'm just looking at it. Would you look at that? All right. I think we're going to be good here. So I'm going to lift it. And I'm just going to try and bring it out slightly. Perfect, I'm okay with that. I'm going to feed some more of it over to the front. I'm going to lock this area in so it doesn't come back. As you can see, we're keeping the grain. It looks friggin' beautiful. That's very important. There's no really dark patches or dark lines. That's what will happen. when you do overstretch the brush metal. So just keep that in mind. And just bust out the squeegee, it's a little bit faster. So as we get to the front of the tank, it won't matter so much if we do happen to distort it slightly, not that big of a deal, because it's gonna be sitting like more out of the way, I think. So most of the gas was taken out of this tank. I can still smell it. So that's why I masked off the gas tank cap area. So you see what I'm doing here? I'm just trying to create, I'm gonna try and create triangles. And again, this is very hard because I need to get to the bottom edge, and the bottom edge is actually sitting on the table. I could put this on some kind of a pedestal maybe. I don't know, haven't tried. So I'm gonna hold it up right here. So you guys can see it. Okay. It's gonna shrink, see it shrink? Good, I want that to happen. And then I'm gonna take it and I'm just gonna stretch it outwards. Try and pull it to the left and to the right. I've gotta hug this thing. It's not bad. All right. Still trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with these wrinkles right here. I think they're gonna have to come down more, but I need it to like lock in so I don't lift everything up, which is, again, it's difficult. Let me get it, I think right about now. Ha, oh, stay there. So the primer surface is a good and a bad thing in my situation. Oh, I got a wrinkle there, I don't like it. So the primer surface is not the best thing. As you can see, the vinyl, it doesn't stick that great. It's fine, I'm gonna get it. I know I'm gonna get it. Just a matter of how long does it take for me to get it. You know, I mean, to get this kind of finish on your gas tank, I don't even think it's reasonable as far as the cost goes. I have no idea. Yeah, I would love to have a bike like this actually. So it's okay to have, obviously the grain is gonna bend and stuff like that, that's cool. We just don't wanna overstretch it in particular areas. If we overstretch it in very small areas, then we start getting distortion that looks odd. So again, I'm trying to lift this thing, and I'm gonna take it one more time, I think, and get it down to the bottom, so I need to add a bit of heat. I don't have that many wrinkles. See, it's not really that bad at all. Wasn't even holding on to it. Just need to kind of go for it. There. Let's bust out the squeegee. All right, so let's see what happens around this bottom corner right here. Oh, it's shrinking up, it's perfect. Kind of what I want. A little bit more wrinkle than I'd like, but again, I'm gonna make this work, so. Very cool. One side done, mostly. I'm gonna go up there and fix it all up afterwards. All right, so I'm still slightly concerned about this area, so I know that I had trouble on the other side. I'm gonna take this back a bit again and kind of swing this around a little bit more if I can. Wants to pivot. And that's what I'm going to use the wall for right now. I'm going to hold it. Okay, those wrinkles are not so bad. They just mean I got to pull the other direction. That means I got to pull this way. Lock it in right there. And just get those top ones out right here. I can actually probably heat shrink them. Yep. And just slightly back the other way. Done. Oh. See, primered surface. Doesn't want to stick all that great. Again, it's all about challenging yourself and making it happen. I do want this thing to last. It's very important. I have no idea who's gonna buy this thing. So get that wrinkle out there. Okay. Cool. Let's get this side done. I think this side's gonna be a bit more challenging for me. Let's see how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try to do it like this by leaning on it. I'm gonna unstick most of this vinyl that got all stuck together. Again, the reason why it's getting stuck together is because it's just like hitting the table and it's excess film. But you gotta have excess film. Pretty hard, guys. Oh, I got one wrinkle all the way up the top there. It's not fair. I gotta heat it out. So as you can see, what's kind of going on right now. As soon as I can get you into a better spot, I will. Maybe around here somewhere. Let's take it. Let's try and get this, knock this guy out right now. I keep saying that, don't I? All right. It's not easy. Whew. So here is the dent. You can kind of see it. I can feel it right there. It's actually a lot less than I thought. There's some protrusion right here. So there's an indentation and a bit of protrusion right here. I'm not sure if it's showing on camera or not. Just didn't want to point that out so you can kind of see what that looks like. All right, I want to worry about the back area afterwards. It's going to be easier. Let's worry about where I have. It does shrink, but look at that. I have a ton of vinyl just kicking around right here. It's not fair either. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start around here. Let's shrink that down. I want it shrunk around the hinge because I don't want a lot of tension around that hinge. And then we're going to come back the other way. Starting right around there. All right, let's try this again. And this means I just need a bit more heat probably through here. Let's come a little higher up to the body line. Makes a bit more sense. This way we can sort of hide it if we get any or too much distortion. If I can just get my hands in a good spot. I don't want you to move. Let's try this again. I'll try it from this side. You see how I'm coming across? And I'm watching everything. It's actually not bad. Probably good with it. That. Just want to make sure we're not causing any damage. It's just some nice dry skin here that will come off. Now look at down here. We have way less slack. What I got going on over here, I got some wrinkles. We're gonna fix it. I gotta get these two guys out right here. They're like way more up there. But I've taken care of that area right there. So I can focus a little bit more over here now. As long as we keep our heat where we need it. Try and hold it against the wall again. If we put heat back over there, it's going to contract again. much, 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 much better. The beauty about vinyl is that we can do this several times. Okay, so I'm super happy with this area. This means right now that this should all just shrink in. Oh, it is. That's what I want. So now I can lift it, get the bottom edge without even really stretching it down to that bottom edge. That's my squeegee right here. You can use the squeegee to like keep it a little bit more even. Sometimes it helps get a little bit more down all at once. Got finger marks right there, so I'm going to, looks like I have finger marks right there, so I'm going to shrink them. There we go. And I'm just going to bring that down. I should have actually shown you the finger marks. I don't know if you guys can see them at all, unless it's, oh, they're dents. You guys see that? These are dents right here. So I thought it was finger marks. I'm like, they should have shrunk. When I shrunk the vinyl, it should have gone away. Okay, so we see that I don't have like a ton of slack at the edge of my gas tank, right? Or sorry, a ton of wrinkles. I'm getting there right now. It's getting there. It's not like there's no wrinkles, but we don't have too many. This has a lot to do with pulling the vinyl across, as opposed to pulling the vinyl down to the edge all the time. We pull the vinyl down to the edge all the time, we're just stretching down to that edge, and this is where it's gonna result in failure. Like I said, luckily, we can wrap around the edges quite a bit. I'm sure half of you are like, no, I'm not doing this. You can do it in multiple pieces. Obviously, it's not going to look as nice, right? I don't have any seams on this thing. So we're down at the edges. Again, I'll trim it up and stuff like that for those of you who want to stay tuned for the rest of it. I'll finish up the back here though. So what I want to do is I'm going to lead this. I have a lot of slack in the middle, right? Look at how much slack I have there. Way too much. I need to lead it out to the corner, so over here and over here, which is actually going to be very easy because of how they taper out and down. So I'm going to get that flattened out slightly. I just want to get some of those wrinkles out. There we go. Better starting point. And then we're going to take a bit of heat, soften the film, shrink it back down. Cool, let it do its thing. And then we're going to take it, expand it outward, not too much, just enough to get the wrinkles out. And then once we find that we've got most of the wrinkles out, we can start laying it down. See how that works? Cool. Now if I don't stretch enough across this way, I'm still going to end up with too much slack here. So this requires a bit more expansion out to this corner. I think I'm going to check it right now with a bit of heat. Yeah, I didn't feel it contracting in, which is what I wanted to do. So again, we give it another try. And again, I'm going to pull it more across. The amount of directions that you use, like, and how you pull the film across really determines how much film you're going to be left with by the time you get down to like these edges and stuff. So what I want to do is pull that back a bit, and this should shrink. Yep, shrunk quite a bit. So we're just going to kind of keep it flat and glassed out without adding too much tension. See, it's easy to pull down. Yep, shrink that, let it go, and then again, expand it, glass it out. 3D stretching, always. So what I'm going to have to do is eventually turn it on its side, or upside down, and get all the bottom. Probably turn it upside down. As soon as I get all this. Lift that up right to there, that wrinkle, and shrink it. There we go. Doesn't take, when there's tension on the film, pulling in the right directions, it does not take a lot of heat, guys. You do not need to like super soak this with heat. Okay, other side. I feel confident with about how much vinyl I have left over there. I'm going to show you this whole thing when we're done. So not a lot of tension there, which is good. Just slack. Pull a little tighter. Needs to come more across. See, I'm getting too much. There we go. I think we're a bit better there. I'm going to check it though when I get it anchored to this edge right here. So what I need to do to check it is we add heat. If this doesn't shrink, it means I have too much slack. Okay, that's good. I still have too much slack actually. Let's see. I can work it down a bit, but see this is what's happening now. This is totally different what I'm doing right now. Right now I'm working all this excess film to the bottom. If I don't get any shrinkage where it wants to pull tight, this is going to be wrong. So again, we have to come across, bring it back to the same starting spot, around the same starting spot again, heat it, and then we have to draw it across a little bit more. So more from that area right there, as opposed to where my right hand is, it's more where my left hand is that I'm stretching across. I think we're feeling better with that. That looks way better. See how much more smooth that is right now? This means, lock that in, this should now shrink down and tighten up. It did, perfect, that's what I want. Some wrinkles, we'll deal with all that. We're gonna deal with the side again because I messed all that up by doing what I did. It's just back and forth, a little bit of back and forth, that's all. Not a lot of tension, which is good. And this is going to be difficult because I don't have a good way to do it. All right, let's try. You see how I'm pulling along the side, right? I hope you guys can see all that. I'm always pulling across. So now, it's just dry skin. That should shrink down a bit. Okay, that's not bad. As long as I don't have to stretch terribly hard to the bottom, we're gonna be fine. It's not staying locked in where I wanted it to. Again, primered surface, right? Okay, so if I can actually just get this lifted a bit. I don't want to stretch too hard, I just want to keep it smooth and glass. As soon as I get it right down to like the bottom edge, it won't really matter so much anymore because all that stuff sits, you know, around the frame and it gets all covered and, you know, right around the bottom, that bottom lip, don't even worry about it. So we can actually just like go in there and kill it a bit with some heat and stuff and just not worry about it. Stretch too far, just enough to give me that nice smooth surface. A little bit more. I ripped it there, it's fine. It gets cut off anyways. Okay, so I would say that we're just about ready to flip it. What you'll want to do is put it down on something soft. You do not want to ruin our hard work. I'm just going to fix up here. mix up this side a little bit. Sorry guys, just gonna correct before I flip it. Okay, let's flip it. So there was a ton of imperfections in this tank, and this film hides it really well. All right, so now we can really kind of take care of the bottom here. I'm right-handed, so it's gonna be a little bit challenging to show you all of it. Crazy stuff, guys. Guys and girls. All right. Okay, so let's just keep on going down. Keep on going down the edge. I want to make it to that nice sharp bend that it gives me. If we don't post heat this, you may leave yourself in trouble, so just keep that in mind. Hard to see the front, can't really see it. Oh, there's some wrinkles there. There we go. All right. Coming back here. Don't worry, I'm gonna get it. All right, get around this side. Can't see. Definitely very difficult to trust the primer. Upside down. Try and keep this one under an hour. I think the other one was like an hour, the other video I did on this, and I didn't even do the cutting, so we're trying to get it all done in an hour. I think it'll be possible. I'm trying to keep some of it in the video for you guys, but some of it's not possible, so I'm gonna get it done. You've seen one of the hardest parts. This is actually not that easy of a part either, is to get it wrapped all the way up to the edge, so that way we can guarantee that you know, we've got full coverage and a little bit extra just in case kind of thing. This corner right here, a bit of a follow. I don't want to stretch it too much, right? I'm just trying to stretch it so that it's smooth. Like I said, I'm going to get in there and post-heat all this. I'll probably time-lapse that part because it's really boring. Talk about a bit of it. Whew. Keep getting wrinkles when I push down. It's just a hard corner to get into. Okay. I'm gonna do some post-heating right now to hold that in. It's okay if it smokes. It's a good thing. See how we're looking. Okay, so I've got a bit to fix up right here in the front. This should tighten down. It's an awkward spot around this little hinge. So if we're having trouble around this hinge, don't want to cut it just because it might throw it off a bit. I'm trying to somehow get it tight around the hinge and then not get wrinkles around it. It's really difficult to do. When you're working around stuff like this, it can be very difficult to do. Okay, we're good. So it would make sense to cut a hole, but I'm just a little bit cautious when I cut a hole right now with tension on the film. I want to make sure that I can get it down and smooth around it first before I cut the hole, because it might want to pull back a bit and then it would just ruin the whole job. One wrinkle there still. Damn it. Come on. Okay. The rest here I'm not worried about. That's easy. This is easy. Not a lot of tension here. And on the front edge here, I'm going to wrap it all the way around. Let's do that right now. Almost. I just use a touch of heat to soften the film. It makes it pliable for me to be able to squeegee in there and get it looking pretty. Good. Let's do that side. Watch. Actually, this side doesn't even have any wrinkles, so I can probably just end up feeding the film in. But you guys can see that. Let's get you back in here. So hopefully you can see, I'm going to feed the vinyl back into this little recess here. Good. Come out. And then we're wrinkle free, a couple up here. But if you guys actually want to see, like, I'll heat it. And there's really not much at all. There's a couple on the top, but not a big deal. You can tell how hard they're pulling back, if they're going to be a problem or not. That just takes a bit of experience. So around here, what I want to do is I want to do a relief cut, sort of around here. Now they said the cap that goes on it, or the cover, or whatever the heck goes on it, covers a fair bit. So he showed me where. But we're always going to be a little cautious when we do this, because we want to make sure that we're getting that full coverage. Okay, this is where I'm going to leave that for now. I'm going to work around. I'm going to work that area first and then come out tight across this little bit. So what I want to do is come in there. I don't even need any heat. And just go for that deepest part. I'll add heat afterwards. If I screw anything up, where I want it to be screwed up is probably around there. So that's why I'm leaving that. Just in case you're wondering. Yeah, so there's the edge where they told me it wraps up, the gas cap covers right around here. All right, so we need a relief. And this is a weird little piece to cut around. I'm not sure how what kind of goes here. I never saw the bike before, so I don't know. Get that off. I'm gonna heat it. Good. Shrinking down. That's exactly what we want. You're gonna see, I'm gonna get it all wrapped around all of this fun stuff. Just take your time. See it tighten up. Oh, it's amazing. Check it out. All right, I'm gonna cut it all out. There's hinges there and stuff, so I'm gonna go like here. Cut along the edge of the actual cover holder thing. all just falls into place. It's beautiful. It's a good spot for your glove. And get your squeegee in there afterwards too. Give yourself that little extra. Let's get around here. Need a fresh blade, so I'm going to snap one off. Makes life easier. Okay, so this ring should come out. Good, that's all covered, he said. And then we just kind of tuck in, get it looking nice. Yeah, and this is our gas tank wrap. So I've gone all the way down to the bottom edge, all the way around, and wrapped the whole gas tank. So I actually saw some wrinkles here actually just now. Let's fix that. So what you can do, I'm going to kind of sum this up. These I'm going to cut off. And what I can do is once I get this like all post heated, I'm probably going to put another brushed metal strip around the bottom area, just because it's like a nice hard edge, just in case you maybe see it. I don't want them to be able to see anything as far as the primer goes, and I can overlap what's already there slightly, so that way, you know, we're holding the vinyl down just in case, kind of like a seam tape. That's a dent, by the way, whoever you're looking at here, that's a dent. Yeah, so hold it down kind of like a seam tape or an edge seal tape, and you know, it'll still cover it. We can cover it all with brushed metal around the bottom. This way it looks mint. Alright guys, so there you have it. This is a brushed metal gas tank one-piece vinyl wrap. Yes, I'm going to go over a little bit and just touch up the edges, make sure everything's locked down, clean it all up, get this back out to them, or they'll just come pick it up, and that's pretty much it. So you can see what this looks like. It looks pretty awesome. It gives it a really cool effect. Not like something you can't just paint this on. It's not like a thing. So you can get it. You can do this in multiple pieces, like I said, but you would see a body line, like you would see a line on this one. Depending on the gas tank that you're doing, some they have more hard angles, some have softer angles. This one definitely has some softer angles. You can get a little creative and break it up. Maybe you want to put some like black down the middle, like satin black or gloss black or something like that. You can get creative. That way you can break up your seams and break up your pieces. But this does go to show you more or less what you're looking at when it comes time to wrap your motorcycle gas tank. A lot of them are going to be pretty difficult to do. You know, there aren't many that are that easy, especially when you're doing it alone. And that's pretty much it. Now, if you guys like the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you guys want to see some more videos, you know, back to the installation stuff, I'm at the new shop. We've got I got a wall up right now. This is just temporary makeshift wall behind me. It's kind of half-assed ghetto, but we're gonna wrap it in wood grain, and I'll probably do a video on that as well. But yeah, if you guys want to see more about the shop, I actually just renovating it right now, and we're doing all kinds of fun stuff with it. But don't forget to subscribe. And again, I appreciate you watching. Thank you very much. Take care.